All right, everybody. I think it's about 10:01 here. I want to welcome you to today's Chef's Culinary Corner. We have a special guest today, Chef Jay Zabrowski from InHarvest. As requested, we are going to be featuring some more vegetarian recipes. Earlier this week, we had Chef Chris from Santa Clara feature some falafel and tzatziki and some fresh made pita bread. Fantastic job there, Chef Chris. We appreciate that. So today, like I said, we have Chef Jay from InHarvest, and I wanted to go ahead and turn it over to him and see what exciting stuff he has today.
Fantastic. Hello, everybody. Thanks for having us. InHarvest is in the house. That's what I like to say. We're really excited to be here. I've got my camera crews all ready. They're all standing around. They're behind the scenes. And I'm hoping to inspire and excite you today with some cool things that not only that you might have seen already in some of the cafes, but some of the things you might see in the future at the cafes. I do know that salad bars are going to change. We're going to have to go to a lot of portion controlling. The ideas I'm going to throw at you today can definitely work in a to-go box, ready to happen. It's going to be some fun stuff. So I like to start off, I call it a lunch and learn. Sorry, we're not serving lunch, but we're going to have some fun anyway. But I'm going to do a little bit of a sharing of my screen and show you a little, I don't want to call it a PowerPoint, but I want to call it something exciting. And here we go. You should see my screen and action. All right, so InHarvest. There, we're going. InHarvest, whole grain rice, a rice and whole grain company. And we're gonna get ingrained right now. So here we go. So who is InHarvest? Real quick, it's 40 years we've been in business. Unbelievable. I've been happy to be a part of the InHarvest team for 12 of those 40 years. Everything is rooted in integrity from unique grains. We carry a lot of unique things that a lot of your facilities and locations are using right now. We are plant-powered deliciousness. So plant-forward, veg-centric, you're gonna hear all these terms in the industry right now. We have plant-forward solutions for you, which is really cool. We have the culinary forward approach, meaning we are here to help you. That's our culinary team pictured right here. You've got Chris Bybee, myself, Chef Colleen, and Chef Mike. We are all there. We have a lot of fun when we get out on the road, and I cannot wait to get back out there. Hopefully to come visit all of you. We have long-term grower relationships, so we can share stories. Everyone wants to know the story these days. So where are things coming from? Where's my tomatoes from? Where's this from? Where's that from? So we can share stories to pair up and really make one heck of a story with everybody. We're sustainably sourcing, so we know where our products are coming from, which is another great story to be able to share with everyone when we're creating products and creating recipes. And then we exceed food safety standards. Obviously, in the times we're in now, we definitely will focus strongly on that. And then we are the industry leaders. That's a brief little history of InHarvest. I'm done with that. Let's dig into some whole grains. You must know this, the anatomy of a whole grain. Basically, you have three parts of a grain. There's the bran layer, the outer coating, the endosperm, and the germ. If you do not have all three of those, you do not have a complete whole grain. You must contain all three of those parts to be a complete whole grain. I was looking at my daughter's cereal the other day, and Fruity Pebbles contain whole grains. Made with is different than a complete whole grain. So just know that in order for something to be a complete whole grain, you need all three of those parts, the bran, the endosperm, and the germ. Enough science. Let's move on. So this screen is a lot going on, but I really, really like it. I'm a huge member of the American Culinary Federation. I'm actually the president of the Charlotte chapter here, Chefs of Charlotte. And we focus a lot on industry trends. So what was hot, or what is supposed to be hot this year, is eco-friendly packaging, scratch-made, plant-based proteins, healthy bowls. So you're gonna see a lot of bowls, creativity with catering, delivering friendly menu items, revamping classic cocktails, which is a pretty neat one, stress relievers, all ingredients, fruits, vegetables. There are actually fruits and vegetables and I did some research, the leafy greens, they're actually stress relievers when you eat them. Specialty burger blends using mushrooms in burgers, grains in burgers, really tying it all together, and then unique cuts of beef and pork. So these things are all tallied up by the National Restaurant Association and the ACF. They surveyed all the chefs, and this is what chefs said at the end of 2019 would be hot in 2020. Obviously, given what's going on, some things did change, but I'll tell you right now, chefs are really going back to what they want to do, and I'm telling you, scratch made is going to be big. Plant-based proteins and bowls, you are going to see tons of those in the industry. So I wanted to touch on veg-centric. Flavor in the Menu is actually a magazine, and they define veg-centric as not vegetarian. It is, there it is, culinary technique. It's using culinary techniques to amplify flavors. You want to use techniques like charring, oven roasting, wood grilling, so that when you're using vegetables and grains as the center focus on your plate for a plant-forward meal, you have these really, really good techniques and you can do by charring a pepper or, you know, toasting off some quinoa and using that toasted flavor in your dishes to really bring out the flavors for people to enjoy those types of dishes. And then you can accent it with maybe some pork, crispy pork, and accent those things for those people who are meatitarians, who want to eat, the carnivores and all that. So I really look at focusing on veg-centric and then adding proteins to it. This way you've always got a vegetarian choice somewhere or a vegan choice. I want to talk about schools. The younger generations are eating these grains. It is unbelievable. So when they get to our facilities, when they graduate high school, graduate colleges, they've already seen this stuff. My daughter's 12, she's in 6th grade, just graduated to 7th grade, woohoo! She knows what quinoa is. And there are kids in her class who, when you say, hey, who knows what quinoa is, they raise their hand. And they know it's a plant protein. And I'm like, holy cow, it's amazing. So this younger generation is getting on board with education, and they know what's going on. Say hi to Chef Colleen. She actually is talking about tips and tricks here. Biggest thing when using whole grains and buying whole grains at the store, whether it's farro, whether it's black rice, wild rice, anything, don't wing it cooking it. Don't think it cooks the same as white rice. It's not a 2-to-1 ratio. They're all different ratios, so you must follow the package instructions, okay? Very important. If you want to make it a less starchy grain, say it's farro, start off the grains, sorry about that. For a less starchy grain, you want in a fully cooked grain, add the grains to boiling liquid. So if you want a less starchy farro, add it to boiling liquid. My biggest tip that I could tell all of you is when you're using whole grains and you want to add them to a salad, you always want to overcook them a little bit, especially if it's the bran layer. It's like a wild rice or a red rice or a black rice. That bran layer will harden if you have an acid in the dressing or you chill it. So you don't want that. So if you overcook it or bloom it a little longer, if you're going to serve it cold, it helps make it so that it's more palatable for people. So if you're making a cold salad, overcook the grains by like 5 to 10 minutes. I wanted to touch on farro because we all know what farro is. The farro that InHarvest has is from the Monte Rosa region in Italy. It is an unbelievable product. I love it. I basically put farro in a lot of my products and a lot of recipe development that I do. That's the actual name that it's called, Triticum dicoccum. I probably said that wrong, but there's the technical term for it. It is an ancient grain. It's considered the grain which all others are derived. It's really high in fiber, so it's a great product to put on your line and put out and order and get and really start eating. It's a good source of calcium. It has vitamins. It digests easy. I was actually blessed to go to the Monte Rosa region. I visited this farm. I met the farmer. She was amazing, and she wine and dined us, and we ate farro everything. They even make farro beer with the farro. It was pretty wild. Next topic is quinoa. And that is the way you say it. I used to joke around and say it's not quinoa. A lot of people know how to say that now. So quinoa is the proper pronunciation of that. It is the super grain. It is amazing. It is awesome. Quinoa is originally from South America. So the imported quinoa is originally from Bolivia and Peru. And it was discovered by the ancient Incas. It was traded as money. The high protein in quinoa, it's very, very nutritious for you. So if you're looking for a protein substitute that's vegan or vegetarian, quinoa fits that perfect. So if you're someone who's looking, I don't want to eat meat anymore, I want to cut back on my meat, but I still need my protein, this is a plant protein that works awesome. To the right there, that is domestic white quinoa. So it is not imported. It is grown in the Teton Valley right in Idaho. It is unbelievable product. Now, one of the things with quinoa that I love telling people now is that quinoa imported has to be rinsed. There's a natural coating on quinoa, the imported quinoa, that causes all your food to taste bitter. So if you go to the store and buy quinoa and you come home, you don't rinse it, and it's imported, and it tastes bitter, it's because you did not rinse it. So you always want to rinse your imported quinoa. With this domestic white quinoa from InHarvest right now, it is saponin free, which means you don't have to rinse it. So it's really cool product. The white is available and it's unbelievable. I hope that you can see that in some of your salads and some of your cafes real soon. So the white, the red, the black, there are 3 kinds of quinoa imported, okay? They all pretty much have the same nutritional value. You want to make sure you rinse the imported quinoa, okay? Then there's the tricolored quinoa, and of course, the domestic white, which is unbelievable. I'm actually going to do a recipe in a few moments with you with domestic white quinoa. And I'll tell you right now, Chef Chris, I saw him on the line from the Elements Cafe. You could totally fold domestic white quinoa into that falafel recipe that you made and make it a vegan, protein-packed falafel. It's really pretty cool. Where am I? Right there. So I'm gonna zip through this kind of quick because I want to get to start making some stuff here. I'm so excited I get to basically cook here. So breakfast ideas, appetizers, salads, things we love to eat, and desserts. Everything you're gonna see has whole grains in it because I am the whole grains geek. So breakfast, you can make some granola. Why not? Put it on your yogurt. You could totally make granola parfaits. And now you can make some grains. There's some quinoa there. There's some bulgur wheat. And you can make a layered parfait. And you might see these as a grab and go item in the cafes when we start opening again. You could take quinoa cooked and you mix it with pineapple, papaya, maybe some cantaloupe, and do a fruit and seed salad. There's pumpkin seeds, sunflower seeds, quinoa, banana, and cantaloupe, and pineapple in that picture right there. It's unbelievable as a breakfast item. You could throw some white quinoa, domestic white will work perfect, make a frittata, which is basically an egg bake. You could do a jasmine rice porridge, serving that as a hot white rice porridge and putting a soft-boiled egg on top or a fried egg, whatever you want. You could do so this is something I want to say right here. I know a lot of cafes out there in the United States have started to put out the sunrise blend, which is bulgur wheat, buckwheat groats, quinoa flakes, red rice, flaxseed. It's an unbelievable product. But normal person coming down for breakfast wants to see their Quaker oatmeal. Well, Quaker oatmeal is great, but it's not really a complete whole grain. So Sunrise Blend adds those whole grains to the Quaker oatmeal, which is awesome. So you might start seeing the Sunrise Blend in a whole grain oatmeal out there for breakfast. It'll be, of course, pre-portioned. You won't be serving yourself. Then you can do wraps, some wild rice into some scrambled eggs or some bacon. Why not? You've got the hash. You could do a breakfast hash using whole grains, serving them with some fried eggs. You could do waffles. You can mix cooked rice, cooked grains, mix them into the waffle batter, and now you've got a whole grain waffle. And I live in the South, so chicken and waffles. Why not some pulled chicken over a red rice coconut ginger waffle? Everyone's doing that. You can use the elote bowl. So you can twist on a culture right there. You've got the Spanish culture. You can do some chorizo. You've got some corn, and it's all kind of deconstructed. The corn is on the elote bowl. Why not grain shakes for breakfast? Mix some of the whole grains into the shakes and into your smoothies, which are really, really cool. Because I was in Minnesota at the State Fair, I had to fry whole grains. So we put wild rice cooked into fritter batter and served fritters on a stick with wild rice. It was really, really cool. Farro makes a great guac-style guacamole. You overcook the farro, you put it into your Roboku, you blend it with some peppers, some jalapenos, and some garlic, and it is bright green and stays green for quite a few days, unlike avocado, which definitely turns brown. You could put black barley into a salsa. You could do the farro served with some pickled veg, and you got a pickled farro salad. Almost done. You've got some melon, because watermelon's coming into the season. This is honeydew, but you could totally do watermelon grapes, and this is actually a pasta the golden jewel blend, we call it. I know a lot of places serve pasta blends where you can mix fruit with some pasta when it's like that. That's a bamboo rice and some cucumbers. You're looking, that's the salad you're gonna see in very, very few moments. It's the beet and carrot salad for all of those people on the call right now who are not a fan of beets. Right now, this salad is phenomenal and it's made with domestic white quinoa. Here's a sweet potato salad. You're gonna see this too. I did a little twist to it. There's another salad with strawberries and some Israeli couscous. So you're mixing again a pasta with strawberries. You're gonna see this salad too, but I did twist it a little more because that's what I do. Here's some tacos. So it's taking some green wheat frica, which is very high in fiber, and it's an awesome product as well, and it makes a great vegetarian taco. For those of you that don't want vegetarian, you can fold it into turkey, and I'll tell you right now, you'll never know. So if you're looking for a way to cut back on your animal proteins, just fold some grains into the animal protein, and it's a way of cutting back. Green wheat frica is that great substitute. There's a flatbread using cauliflower and quinoa. There's a regular pizza dough. We threw in some wild rice on the Alfredo sauce with some salmon. There's a turkey burger with grains added to it and some lentils. Why not? There's a risotto using brown rice instead of arborio rice. You've got a fajita bowl, your lentil bolognese, and finally dessert Nerone black pudding, which is a purple rice that makes purple pudding. It's unbelievable. I really do enjoy grains. I think that they're a great way to introduce things and really try to start eating better and looking at how you're eating. So with that, I'm going to go live to my kitchen. And I'm going to hit that. And then like that. Here, bear with me.
There you go. You're all set.
All right, perfect. Thanks for holding on. So, Chef Kurt has control now, and we're going to take questions at the end. We're going to have a few questions. I wanted to go through a few things first. The first thing I'm going to do is work on a couple of salads. So, I have 4 salads here. They are amazing, and they are really cool to go into to-go containers. They're composed, and they're going to add some color and some flavor to everything that you have in your facilities. So I was watching some of the other videos, and I want to say, I do have my cut glove, Chef Chris, but I'm not going to wear it today. Thank you very much. I do wear it when I'm in your facility, sir. It has saved my fingers as well. I heard you lost a few fingers, but at least I didn't lose any yet. But the cut glove has saved our fingers. All right, and Chef Alyssa, I gotta say this. I watched you, and yes, a sharp knife is always important to use. I'm not sure if you can see it, but I have my paper towel under my cutting board, so my cutting board will not move. And then I love the way you cut that pepper in your video. So if you have not viewed Chef Alyssa's video on kitchen safety, and she made a stir fry, cutting the pepper, the tops and bottoms off, and then she rolled the pepper out, that was brilliant. I cut my pepper that way yesterday too when I did my prep. So the first salad is our Southern Black Rice Salad. We're calling it the Southern Black Pearl Medley, okay? We're taking our Black Pearl Medley blend, which is brown rice, a barley, black barley, and a radish seed. I cooked it up, and I went 5 minutes longer because we want to cook the grains 5 minutes longer because we don't want them to get hard. That bran layer on the barley will give it some texture. So I made sure I cooked that. I took some pineapple. You could do frozen, you could do canned, you could do fresh, you can roast them off in the oven. There's so many different things you can do. We just took fresh pineapple, and I actually saved the juice because it sat overnight, and I put that right into my rice mixture. I took those peppers that I diced up, threw those in there, and then I got some red onion that I'm throwing in there. So it's the rice blend, pineapple, red onion, and red pepper. And then I took a local barbecue sauce because you always want to try to support as much local as you can when you're out there, when you're doing things. So we used a barbecue sauce from a chef buddy of mine. It's called Still There Barbecue. So I'm going to pour some barbecue over this. And I'll tell you right now, who was that? That was, it was Chef Tyler from Cafe Q. His bacon jam, oh man, that would be insane in this. Now, obviously, won't make it vegetarian anymore, but that's all right. So that bacon jam folded into this that you made the other day would be unbelievable. So once I have all those ingredients in there, I'm going to use my rubber spatula. Very, very important to use a rubber spatula. If you use a metal spoon or a metal spoon, you're actually going to break up the grains. And then what happens is they're going to get mushy as you're mixing. So you're breaking them up. So you want to use a rubber spatula. You just want to fold it, fold, fold, fold. And this salad will hold probably 2 days, no problem in the fridge. Given the pineapple that's in it, the acid will definitely cause the grains to kind of break down a little bit. So in a few days, you might have some mushy rice because of the pineapple. So what you could do is you could prep it in stages, have all your stuff prepped at home, and then mix it as you want to eat it. But once that's there, we're going to put it into this bowl I have. We are going to do that. There's one salad done. All right, moving along a little more. The next one we're going to do is my favorite salad that I was talking to you about, the ever mighty beet. I love these things. My daughter likes them too. Give a thumbs up if you like them, darling. There's your thumbs up. She's my little inserter. So there's some beets. We have beets. We have carrots. And what I do is, because I'm big on food waste is a very, very important thing. So I don't peel the carrots and I don't peel the beets. And honey, put that sign back. We're gonna rewind. This sign right here, all the nutrients, beets have a ton of nutrients. So the nutrients are in the skin. So what I want to do is I really want to wash this good. So we washed it under some cold water. If you wanted to scrub it, you could. I made sure all the greens look good too. Because again, food waste, why should you cut the beet here and then throw all of this away? This is beautiful stuff right here. So what I did was we took these beets and the carrots, we grated them on a grater, simple cheese grater, okay? So I already grated my carrot, my beets, and then I did, here's a culinary term for you, chiffonade. Chiffonade is when you take your leafy greens and you roll them, and you take your chef knife and you're just gonna really, really thin slice it. So when you thin slice it, you're actually getting this beautiful, palatable, wonderful stuff that just flows right in there. So I mixed the tops of the beets into the salad as well as the carrots and the beets that I grated raw. So everything is raw so far. So you're taking a raw beet, raw carrot, the beet tops, and we're gonna take our domestic white quinoa. And what's cool about this is that it's, you can hold that one up, saponin, heard that word? This one, go for it. What's that next one? My favorite line. No saponin is happening. And that's awesome right now. So there's no saponin on this. So we did not have to rinse it. We just boiled our liquid water, we boiled our water, and then 12 minutes, actually a little less than 12 minutes, the domestic white quinoa cooked. So I'm putting the domestic white quinoa in there. Then we're gonna add the 4 C's. We have cumin, coriander, all dry, cayenne, just a little bit, and then cinnamon. I love saying that, cinnamon. And then local honey, right from the Blue Ridge Mountains here in North Carolina. Do a little bit of honey, just to give it a little sweetness, because the cayenne's gonna give it a spiciness. And then, who was that? Zach over at Urban Plantation. I watched the video too, sir. You'd be proud. We have our garden here, and here's fresh mint. So I'm gonna take some fresh mint. I'm gonna do that same type of cut, the chiffonade cut. And I'm gonna chiffonade my mint really, really thin. Oh man, can you smell that? Honey, smell that. You smell that? Wow, that smells really good. Fresh mint, right in that salad. And then we've got our lemon. And I'm gonna take our lemon, and if you didn't know this trick already, when you roll it on the cutting board, you actually soften it. And then when you cut it, there is so much juice that comes out. Once you do that, and it's dripping already, you can see it dripping. So once you do that, you're actually gonna add the fresh lemon. I squeeze it in my hand. I would take this right here, this lemon, right? And I would throw it right into lemonade. Ooh, can you grab that water out of the fridge, please, kid? I'm putting her to work. She doesn't know it yet, but she's going to work here. So we got our fresh lemon. Just put it right there. Squeezing it. The lemon's gonna get a great citrus flavor, which is gonna bring out all the flavors in the sorry, in the salad. Perfect. And then again, using my spat, not the spoon, I'm gonna mix. And this salad is incredible. And it's got great color. It looks awesome on a barbecue. People look at it and go, ooh, beets. And you just say, hey, listen, do me a favor, just try it. The sweetness of the honey, and then the tanginess of the lemon, the carrot, the quinoa adds a great crunch. It's got protein. I do a smoky boys night at my house. I'm not sure I'm doing it this year, but hopefully I will. And I did this salad, and I'll tell you right now, I had a bunch of guys all eating beets and carrots, and they're like, are you crazy? Yeah, we had some pork and things like that, but it was really pretty cool. All right, so the next salad I wanted to show you, moving along, this one's pretty easy. Go for it. This is using the barley salad. It's tuxedo barley and using honey mustard. This honey mustard, that's a pretty, it's like ranch. People love ranch. People love honey mustard. You love them or you hate them. We like the honey mustard. So instead of barley, though, I had to go use some farro. I couldn't get barley at the time. So I cooked up some farro. Again, 5 minutes longer because the bran layer might have hardened, and I don't like really tough grains. I like a little bit of palatable grains. I took sweet potatoes. I didn't even peel them. Left the skins on them. And I roasted them off. I roasted them naked. I kind of referenced Jamie Oliver, the naked chef. He cooks, all his ingredients are naked, doesn't use much to really, he enhances flavors, doesn't put a lot of salt on stuff, but he enhances the flavors. So I cooked everything naked. No salt, no oil, just roasted it off dry. Then I'm gonna use more red peppers. So basically the farro, the sweet potatoes, the red peppers, we're gonna do red onions that I cut a little bit bigger, not as small as the other salad. And then we're gonna mix it with the honey mustard. You can use prepackaged honey mustard. You could use anything you want. You could make your own honey mustard. Using the spat again, not the spoon, we're gonna fold, and we're folding around. And then, Zach over at Urban, oh, I gotta find it. Got my basil. I had some basil from my garden. I'm gonna chop that up. And I get some basil folded into that. Fresh basil, this is a great summer style salad, which is unbelievably delicious. Put that there. And I'm gonna hold all these up again at the end so you can see what exactly we're looking at here. The smell is unbelievable. The freshness of these salads are great. And my last salad, here we go. So we're looking at our jasmine blend. And by the way, that jasmine blend, I'm gonna tell you, not only can the jasmine blend make this salad, okay, with strawberries, but Chef Benji, you did the chicken piccata recipe. I don't know if you're on here, Chef, but that chicken piccata totally was crying out for jasmine blend. Serve me over jasmine blend. The next time we're gonna do that, and you know what? Maybe I just come to your cafe and we do a chef table one day, and I'm making your chicken piccata recipe served over the jasmine blend. I kind of like that idea. So let's communicate after this. So the jasmine blend's cooked off and in there. Because it's in season, and because my wife went and picked up our, I have a farmer's market box here. We got fresh strawberries today. So I quickly cut up some strawberries and put them in there with the jasmine rice. Now the recipe's written for the golden jewel blend, so it's the Israeli couscous. I didn't have any, so what I like to do is everything can be interchangeable. Never be scared of cooking. Everything works in different ways. So I just cooked off the jasmine blend. I mixed it with some strawberries. We've got some radishes here that I thin sliced. I thin sliced the radishes, put them in the salad, added a little water. Where am I? So there are strawberries that were already cut. And then, because this salad was a lot of white and a little bit of red, and for some reason chefs think that when something's got red in it, it needs green. Well, I'm going to use the green, except I'm going to use radish tops, because you know what? That's edible too. Just like the beet tops, just like carrot tops, all that stuff's edible. So I'm taking the, slicing it again, that chiffonade style. You can tear it. You can do whatever you'd like to do. I'm mixing that into the salad. I'm gonna do some lemon juice. I actually pre-squeezed that one so you didn't watch me squeeze lemons again. And then poppy seeds. And you can add poppy seeds, and this is a poppy seed vinaigrette. You can add a little oil if you want, but I like sticking to simple flavors You mix this around, you've got your radish tops, you've got your fresh farmer's market strawberries from a whole family farm if you're here in the South or wherever you are in California. You can really do a shout out to your farmers. That's always awesome. It shows a great relationship if you know where your stuff's coming from. And then we'll go like this, and we'll plate this salad. And I really do think these things will all work. And they're amazing colors. So I'm gonna just come around here and I'm gonna show you, there's your barbecue rice salad. And don't forget that bacon jam you're gonna add to that, right? Then you're gonna look at, here's the strawberry poppy seed salad, which is also amazing as it falls out. There it is. And we've got the honey mustard salad with the sweet potatoes, which is another amazing salad. And then of course my favorite, the quinoa, domestic white quinoa, beet and carrot salad, which will absolutely go anywhere in the deli. It goes with so many different things. So one of the things I want to do a shout out to, let's pull that up. Make sure you check out YouTube. And if you haven't seen the other videos with the Qualcomm and going out there, please go check out what Chef Kurt is doing. It's unbelievable. There's so many things you can do and learn from these videos. Also check out InHarvest.com. And we also have a YouTube site when you go to YouTube, and we do have some pretty cool videos out there as well. Next one. And there is the InHarvest site. Boom, www.inharvest.com. And I thank you very much, everybody, for watching. Hope it was entertaining. Hope you learned something. I'll take some questions now if you want. Kurt, you'll field those for me?
Of course, thank you. Appreciate that, Chef. Amazing recipes. Fresh, exciting, clean. Love it. Does anybody have any questions out there? They can either put them in the chat session there. Chef, are the InHarvest grains available for public orders?
They are not available to public orders, but we do co-pack on private label for a lot of companies. So you just have to look and ask sometimes the company. I know that some I can't talk about those, but there are places that do co-pack for us. They're just not retail yet. There are some stores. I know Wegmans in the Northeast. I can find out for you, Kurt, if you want, if there's any local supermarkets that are holding and having us.
If they want on the website InHarvest, can they purchase it off the website?
It would have to be a 24 pounds of product though, yeah. So you're feeding the neighborhood.
Maybe that's something we can put inside our shop at home for some of the customers that come to the cafe.
Market baskets, yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely. You could sell them, Kurt.
Yeah, we can sell them in the cafes.
So I might have missed this because I had an email from the boss. I first just want to say, Chef Jay, your energy and enthusiasm and love of food is awesome to see, and I just want you to know that comes through, and it's so great to have these. And I just want to say thanks to all of our local Qualcomm folks and food folks that are putting these on. I look forward to trying some of those. My wife is a vegan, and I like to cook. I have my standards that I cook all the time, but these salads look amazing, and so I look forward to looking up some recipes. I took a screenshot earlier with your website information, but I just want to say thank you again, and they look great.
Pleasure, man. Thank you. Please, I love it. I love hearing when people are eating differently and changing the way they eat because of what they see chefs doing. That's really important. So thank you. How are we doing, Kurt? Any more questions come through?
I'm going to go ahead and, if anybody has a question in the chat session, I can go ahead and give a quick unmute.
Oops, sorry.
Go ahead.
Other than the grains and the rice that you showed, is there any like new kind of edgy grain or rice that you see is kind of up and coming that maybe has been ignored for a few years and now it's kind of coming back, or like trend wise with these grains?
All of them, but that's a horrible answer. But you know what? There's individual favorites. There's talk about teff, there's fonio, there's all these different grains that are out there that chefs are playing with, they're experimenting with. Quinoa is still the next hot thing. There's so many different things you can do with it. I've got chefs making burgers. I think you saw a flatbread recipe. There are a lot of different things that chefs are making now with grains besides just a grain pilaf or a grain bowl. They're mixing and incorporating it into things and really getting creative. So I look to the chefs to get creative. I mean, there's green wheat frico wheat balls that are vegan, vegetarian because they have cheese in them, so not vegan. But it's a meatball. It looks just like a meatball, but it's made with green wheat frica. And green wheat frica is a roasted young wheat. And it is just, it's unbelievable. It has a texture of beef. I mean, it's really pretty wild. So I personally think that quinoa is going to stay around for a while and be the hot item. I think green wheat frica is good. I love the Nerone black rice. It's an Italian black rice. So if you're in the store and you see a black rice, similar to like purple Thai or the Chinese black rice, it has a great starchiness and it really is pretty cool. It made the rice pudding at the end of that last video.
Excellent.
Thanks for the question.
Santa Clara says he's made some quinoa cookies in the past. Maybe that'd be one of our next demos.
Excellent.
All right. So thanks for the time there, Chef. We really appreciate it. If anybody has any questions, we'll hold on for another minute or so here. You can either unmute yourself or put it in the chat session.
I also put my email in the chat session before we started, so you should be able to see it. It's jayz@inharvest.com. So feel free to reach out to me, any of you, chefs, anybody on the line. I'm happy to offer any help I can do and give you and whatever. Anything to get grains being eaten and eating better and changing lifestyle just a little bit is all I like to do.
All right, Chef, we got one quick question here to finish off, I think. Who do you think will win Top Chef?
Oh my goodness. You know, I'm going to be honest. You're probably going to yell at me. Someone else has to answer that. I have not been watching Top Chef. I am sorry. Oh.
All right. Good times. Good times. All right. Well, if there's any other questions out there, please go ahead. You can either email Chef himself directly. You can email the invite back to myself. We'll get those questions answered to you. Other than that, thank you, Chef JC. We really appreciate your time, your recipes, and your participation here with InHarvest. We'll see if we can get some of those recipes back out of the cafes for all of our customers to enjoy as well.
That'd be great, Chef. I really appreciate that. And I can't wait to get out there and start cooking with all your chefs again.
Excellent.
So maybe I'll see you all soon. Thanks.
Thanks, everybody. Appreciate it.